I do want to give my quick review of this Sama S4 steel case. So again, I paid $70 for this ATX size case. The biggest benefit, I actually bought two of them, is it does come with the mesh panel, which is really good when you're trying to sell a PC. That's usually like a hard requirement that a lot of people that like think they know stuff about PC, like that's what they're looking for. They want some solid airflow up at the front. It did come with a PSU vinyl cutout, which of course I like, and then most importantly, 4 pre-installed RGB fans, which can be controlled via 3-pin ARGB on your motherboard or via SATA power with the button that's up here at the top, which is absolutely perfect for flips in my opinion. Now, $70 is a really good price for everything that I just listed, but building inside this case was definitely not fun. The cable management on the back is extremely limiting. The only reason you can fit any sort of cable back here is because of this little bit of a pop out here on the back panel. Granted, the pop out is essentially the whole size of the back panel, but it's still not a ton of room. Like if you threw like a radiator up here with even more RGB fans and like you got the pump connections and all that, that would be really tough. It would be super messy back here, and I didn't use a modular power supply. It would have been super helpful in a case like this. The cable management is definitely not its strong suit. It's also a super flimsy and cheap style of case. It reminds me of those budget DIY PC cases from like 2 years ago before they kind of stepped up their game. It does have the advantage that I always really like with the cutout for the GPU connector for the GPU power cables. That is always much appreciated. We do have some Sama branding up here at the front, which has never bothered me. Like Montech does the same thing, but Montex stands out even more. That doesn't really bother me. But one thing that might bother somebody is there's only one dust cover that is on the top inside. So dust falling top to bottom of the case. It's a good place to have a dust cover, even though we don't have fans there. But there's no dust cover on the front panel or the bottom panel for the power supply. And I was about to comment about the sharp edges. I definitely need to comment. I literally almost cut myself right there on the front panel, like pins that connect the front panel to the actual case itself. That literally almost broke my skin there. And on the back, there were some sharp edges as well. This is a very cheap case, man. It looks good. You can make a much better aesthetic looking PC build like this than what I did, and for $70, there's a lot of good value in PC flipping that. But for like a personal build or like a build that you're trying to have a fun experience on, this is the definition of a cheap case. So I probably won't buy it again, but experimenting with it or like doing some random flips with it for $70, it's not the end of the world. So hit or miss, it all depends on what type of experience you're looking for in your case.